Imagine a vertical wall, not perfectly smooth, set at a 90-degree angle, making any movement across it seemingly impossible. Now picture a goat standing on this wall. Sounds unrealistic, right? That's why when a biologist watches a superhero movie, they don't laugh at the superhuman strength and agility, because in the animal world, there are creatures for whom scaling such a wall is just an average Tuesday. Let's start with these goats. Most are aware that they comfortably exist in the mountains and climb rocks better than humans, but few realize the true extent of their abilities. Take Alpine ibexes, for instance. These goats live in the Alps and climb up to elevations of over 11,000 feet in search of food. They face incredible obstacles. For example, one female, lacking calcium and salt in her body, finds the nearest source on a dam where minerals have settled on the surface. The catch: the surface is at a 90-degree angle. So what do these alpine goats do in such a situation? They use even the tiniest protrusions to not just hold themselves on the cliffs, but even run across them, thanks to their extraordinary coordination, sense of balance, and vision that would make any human jealous. Their narrow and incredibly flexible hooves firmly grasp even the smallest pebble, allowing them to calmly lie down on vertical cliffs in search of salt, despite weighing up to 220 pounds as adults. And they learn these tricks from childhood, so even a baby ibex can effortlessly chase its mother, climbing anywhere. Moving from agile superheroes to the strong ones, everyone has seen Spider-Man. In a recent movie, Peter Parker held up almost an entire building. In the comics, it's said that Spider-Man can lift up to 25 tons. But let's look at the dung beetle. Scientists have a fun way of measuring insect strength. They attach a thread to the animal, loop it over a pulley, and add weight. For a long time, the rhinoceros beetle was considered the strongest, but a few years ago, the dung beetle amazed everyone. A male of this species lifted a weight 1,124 times its body mass. If Spider-Man weighs about 165 pounds to match the real dung beetle, he would need to lift almost 93 tons. As you can see, even in creating superheroes, authors can't surpass the limits found in Mother Nature. By the way, the dung beetle isn't even considered the strongest creature on the planet. A typical armored mite, which we despise, lifts about 1,180 times its own weight. Now let's talk about other superheroes like X-Men's Wolverine with his regenerative abilities. But what about the hairy frog, Trichobatrachus robustus? When sensing danger, like Wolverine, it extends claws. But here's the twist: while most clawed animals have keratin claws, this frog extends its actual bones. This still baffles scientists because it's unclear how it can extend and retract bones without harming itself. The frog, like Wolverine, is believed to have regenerative abilities most vividly seen in planarian flatworms. Even if you cut them in half, each part regenerates into a new worm, brain included, which somehow retains the original's memories. Scientists condition planarians to light, then split them, and both the healed and newborn halves retain the learned behavior. And about Thor and electricity, let's just say everyone knows about electric eels, but they're not eels. They're ordinary fish, closely related to catfish. They can generate lethal electric shocks, but electric rays are even more interesting. Known since ancient Rome, they were seriously used for treating gladiators. Not a joke. Ancient Roman doctor Claudius Galen, upon seeing people wearing rays on their heads for headaches, studied them and proved their healing properties, even helping Emperor Marcus Antonius with chronic back pain. Today, thanks to rays, we all benefit from electric-based medical procedures. So as you can see, even the most fantastical superpowers often pale in comparison to the wonders of the natural world. And remember, even the tiniest tardigrades, barely 0.06 inches long, are considered the most indestructible creatures, surviving temperatures as low as 458 degrees Fahrenheit. They enter a state of suspended animation, reducing their biological processes to a mere 0.1%. Italian zoologist Lazzaro Spallanzani once chilled tardigrades for a year, and they revived as if nothing happened. Later studies showed they can survive an hour in boiling water, 30 years without food, and shrug off radiation doses, 570,000 tons, which is almost 1,000 times greater than what would be lethal for humans. They even survived exposure to outer space. And finally, the mantis shrimp, a superhero in its own right. Do you know how many photoreceptors a human eye has, which is considered the pinnacle of evolution? 4 for daytime and 1 for twilight vision. Mantis shrimps have 16 types of photoreceptors, seeing in ultraviolet polarization, and almost every type of lighting humans can only invent. With functionality beyond even spy cameras, they're the real bad guys of the oceans. Usually hiding in the sand, they suddenly pounce on prey, stunning them with a punch. During a strike, a mantis shrimp's claw moves at about 50 miles per hour, and the force is equivalent to a .22 caliber bullet. All this underwater, which usually dampens movement. But mantis shrimps literally tear through water with their speed, creating mini bubbles of superheated steam. The temperature of their attack reaches about 2012 degrees Fahrenheit, essentially killing the prey. This is why mantis shrimps often attack creatures much larger than themselves. Biologists discovered their claws work like a crossbow, shooting sharp parts at close range. And even their sounds are dinosaur-like. You can't hear them from the other side of an aquarium, but once you dip a microphone in, you'll be astonished. So in the world of natural superpowers, the quiet tardigrades, the mighty dung beetles, and the incredible mantis shrimps stand as testament to the unbelievable capabilities that exist in the animal kingdom. Some aquarium enthusiasts have tried to keep mantis shrimps as pets. They're undeniably beautiful creatures, but the outcome is always the same. No aquarium glass can withstand the force of their strike, comparable to pistol bullets. The glass shatters and the poor mantis shrimps are returned to their natural habitat. In the wild, mantis shrimps easily memorize their neighbors, vegetation, and any objects because, in addition to their other abilities, these charming creatures have excellent memory. So there's plenty of room for inventing new superheroes. No matter how cool fictional characters may be, nature always has something even more extraordinary up its sleeve. Until next time, friends.